Calvin King here. In this particular talk, I wanted to address a couple of things in particular that I've found useful in training a lot of athletes and my son over the last couple of weeks before he gets ready for his practices or games. There is a big demand on young athletes, a big demand on keeping them healthy, and a big demand on the exercise selection, what they're doing before and after activity, more so in between um, or during the activity. So in this regards, I've taken my son, I've been taking him through a lot of different um, pre-activation work before practices and games, and we do a lot of this when we're on the field in our spare time. So it might consist of mini blocks from using ground-based movements, animal movements, just working on mobility there, working on opening up tight areas, getting that free flow, the blood flow of movements in different areas to mini band walks where we'll put them on the above the knee, below the knee, at the ankles, and on the feet, working them hips, working all those muscles in that lower posterior chain to get everything firing for activity. We also go into low level skips, high level skips, ankle walks, different heel walks, different dynamic movements to get the blood flowing and get the body temperature up, to get everything activated that will be experienced in a practice or a game. And a lot of people don't take that seriously. A couple coaches have been taking notice, and they have also been including that in their warm ups with their teams, which I'm very grateful. One point I wanted to add was what I started to do with the banded ricochet forward and backward sprints. Now, those ricochet sprints, the banded ones, are nothing new. A lot of people use them um, with the sled or any apparatus they might have. However, I've not seen it done before a practice or a game where I will put the band on the fence. It can be light, heavy. It doesn't matter regarding how much resistance you want the athlete to have and how much explosion you want the athlete to have before the practice or the game. For example, in the videos that you will see, we have done the banded ricochet sprints on a fence. Now, my son thought it was a good idea where we do the first step. So we're priming the movement now. We're holding it at a long length, getting that tension, building that tension, and then boom, it's a quick first step. So we did them several times forward and we did them several times backwards. Now that really primed the movement for acceleration and explosiveness. And it's only 5 or 10 yards. So in the video, you'll see a rapid explosion after that quick first step is done. Okay. So the forward, the acceleration part is great. Now, the tricky part is when we get to the backwards banded ricochet sprints. Now, the backward ones will really target that backside of the muscular of the posterior chain. So where we're looking at from the Achilles to the calves to the hamstring to the glutes, all those muscles in that lower body and that backside part, and even the lower back muscles for activity. Now, this is very different, and we can't expect the athlete to have an explosion like we do in the forward acceleration banded ricochet sprints. Um, and you can see from the video how that takeoff, that explosion backward is not there. Now, an elite athlete at the highest level might be able to do it, or high school or college, those one that has been really trained. But for a young youth athlete in ninth or 10th grade, I don't expect to see it. The backward one's very perfect. We also went into some lateral single arm banded ricochet sprints to work over that carryover of that hip movement of the first step when we or when they face those lateral movements or have to do a crossover step in the practice or in the game. So again, I think these are so great. Anybody can use them, and I wanted to come on because a lot of people are starting to use them, and I haven't really been consulted with about it, which is fine, but I wanted to come on and share my rationale behind doing those. And the biggest rationale is because we can't really carry a sled with us. Um, to anchor that band. Now there are various systems like the Raptor system, other systems, which I'm sure now people will start to use and you'll see them doing it. So I wanted to kind of get on and say where my thinking was and how, this is a great tool that I haven't seen really implemented. And check it out. Let me know what you think. And also in limited form, but I'm gonna come back on in the next week or so and let you know about our pre-activation phase for um, practicing game days that all athletes can use. Because from what I see, not a lot of coaches know what they're doing in regards to getting these athletes ready. A lot of people say warming up. Warming up is a jog. We want to get their body temperature. We want to get them sweating. We want to get them not fatigued, but a little bit there so they can be primed for the activity. Now, if an athlete will struggle with that, maybe we should do it in practice a lot of times before we implement it in a game, but it's been very beneficial. And then afterwards, too, and speaking with my son's stretch therapist who works with the Baltimore Ravens, she was saying to get on a bike, a light, jog on a bike afterwards. So I hope this helps. Wanted to give you my rationale behind doing this exercise. Um, any questions, reach out. I will put this on various social media sites. You'll see it. Hopefully, people consult me with it. If not, it's cool. Also, check out my book, The Influence to Perform, The Influence of a Coach, Biblical Principles from A to Z. And in that book, I just talk about all coaches, no matter your religion, no matter what position you hold, you're a leader. So let's take the discipleship principles in that book and apply them to anybody we can.